You're listening to The Recovery Concept with Kieran Murray on Living Sound FM.
Indeed you are. I hope you are keeping well. I hope you've had a nice weekend and enjoyed that beautiful weather we've been having. I know, it's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely massive out. But I hope you're all okay. I hope you're all not too sunburnt. But anyway, we won't harper on too much about that. It is The Recovery Concept. It is Kieran Murray. It is a Monday night, which means we talk about all things to do with recovery. And recovery, I suppose, is really it's a remission. It's a form of remission. So you may have gone through a bad addiction. You may have been suffering with your mental health. You may have, you may even have been suffering with a certain disease, illness, and it doesn't matter what it is, but you're coping with it, you're learning to cope with it, you're living with it, you're managing it, you're looking after it. Maybe you're learning to manage your disability and you're learning to look after it better, you're learning to kind of respect it more and turn around and accept it more. Because I suppose the key is acceptance, which is very important. I do want to mention something briefly, by the way, and it's something I seen on social media over the weekend. During the week, and it was an article published by the Irish Times, and it was an article, I think, to be honest, the journalist that published it needs to go and check themselves. They ought to be ashamed of themselves, because I'm being honest with you, a lot of journalism nowadays, all newspapers are good for nowadays is for the cats or the dogs to go to the toilet on. That's all it's good for. There's no integrity. There's no respect in journalism anymore. It's all gone out the bloody window. Anyone can call himself a journalist nowadays. But anyway, this story... And by the way, you have a right to reply and you have a right to pull me up on what I'm saying. And you always have a right to reply, by the way. I just thought I'd let you know that. But yeah, the whole thing about it is... They published a story about somebody going into AA and Alcoholics, which is obviously Alcoholics Anonymous. And the person apparently didn't feel great after they went to AA. And the way it looks is, it looked like little old Ireland saying, oh, don't badmouth alcohol again, and, don't give up the drink, all this stuff, it's like that whole mentality. Because God forbid you say anything negative about alcohol in this country. I mean, Jesus, there's only been, serious crimes, assaults, all sorts have happened due to alcohol intoxication, but that seems to be okay, that's acceptable in society. Not. Yeah, I'm going on a bit of a rant here. I'm probably just getting a bit annoyed. And look, I spoke to the likes of Drinkaware and that, who are people that are trying to promote safe alcohol use, and that's fair enough. I'd never tell anybody to give up anything, because there's no point. You can't tell grown-ass adults what to do, okay? Look, we're given the laws by the state. We obey those laws. We don't always obey them. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. For different reasons, and I get that. But yeah, I'm not going to go around telling people what to do. However, I will suggest to you, because I don't know everything, I'm not perfect, I will suggest to you that if you are drinking, or if you are using a certain drug, that you at least be mindful, that you at least try be careful. And I would suggest getting off something, yes. And if you want to get off something, if you want to get yourself into recovery, this is the show for you. Recovery is for everybody. Anyone can get recovery. So yeah. I don't like the idea, basically. Why I'm getting annoyed is because I don't like the idea of the control that alcohol has over us in this country. Now, I know drinking rates have gone down. They actually have. Some people don't believe it, but they actually have. And look, I know, a lot of people are out enjoying that sunshine, and there's been lots of festivals on, and it's been amazing, and people have been drinking and that. But when all that's over, there are people that don't put down the drink. There are people that can't live or deal without drink. And it's very sad. And I can tell you, I was one of those people that couldn't live without it. So I just wanted to mention that. I just wanted to note that. Anyway, my little rant is over. I may move on to our next topic. It is the recovery concept with Kieran Murray on 96.4 Liffey Sound FM. And if you would like to pull me up on anything I'm saying, or if you would like to come on the program, if you're from an organisation, or if you're somebody that's in recovery, you'd like to come on and share, please do, please do. I want to do a 12-step fellowship special, so I want to do a special. So if you are somebody's a sponsor, and by the way, don't even get me started because I will go on another rant, because sponsors can be very dangerous, as can recovery coaches, by the way, as can a lot of life coaches. So just be mindful of those things, you know, just be careful. I would always suggest you go speak to a trained health professional. I would always recommend that. I would always suggest it, and I'd never tell you not to talk to a doctor. I would never tell you not to take medication. If a doctor tells you to do something, you do it. It's as simple as, if you're given medication, you take that medication. You have to do that. It's important. Anyway, I'm going off on tangents once again. A little later on the programme, I might do our top 5. I'm not going to do it right away. I'm going to go to our guest.